Hi, dear friends. I wanted to create a challenge for you. And the challenge is related to money. And my challenge for you is, can you live 1 week, can you live your life 1 week without spending any money whatsoever? And I'm not talking about paying the big bills like electricity or paying for your accommodation or paying petrol for your car. I'm talking about ordinary things, not buying food, not buying clothes, not buying coffee in a coffee shop. Have you ever tried anything like this? Or if that challenge is too much for you, can you try as well doing it in a simpler way? Let's say you have for the week only 20 or 50 euro. You set that small amount for yourself and you say, this is everything which I'm allowed to spend this week. What do you think? Would you be able really to live and to be part of this challenge? Actually, the challenge of not buying anything for a week, anything which is kind of a small item, if we say. This is a very, very interesting challenge. The reason why I'm giving it is because recently, like a few months ago, in Spain and Portugal, and I think in France as well, there was electricity cut off for more than 24 hours, as much as I remember. And what happened then was that people couldn't buy food, they couldn't eat because they didn't have enough food in the house, they didn't have enough toilet paper, they didn't have enough water. So they were starving themselves, basically, in a way. Now, because it wasn't for too long, of course they did survive and people were helping each other and everything like that. But no matter that, can you imagine if we have this kind of electricity cut-offs for longer periods of time? Or can you imagine if you really want to save money for something really, really important for you, and you say, my big goal, let's say you're buying a house, or you want to go for a holiday, or you want to go for a wedding with your family, and you really need to save the money. Would you be really mentally able to not buy anything whatsoever for this particular period of time? I believe it's very challenging. It's really, really challenging to everyone, including myself. I have tried to do that challenge myself, and it wasn't very easy, especially if you're out and about, if you're going around people, if you're going around shops. Definitely not buying or having the mentality that you don't have to buy, that you're restricting yourself of buying things. That could be really, really challenging. So I dare you all, everybody who is watching this video, try it. Try it for 2 days, try it for 5 days, try it for 7 days. Just use everything what you have in the house, absolutely everything what you have in the house. If you need to go shopping beforehand, if you need to go buy some toiletries or anything else which you really lack at present, do it. Prepare yourself, but then go and try it. Try and see, are you really able to do that? I have few rules in my household that we always need to have food at least for a week, everywhere, in the freezer, in the fridge, in the cupboards. I always need to have things in my house no matter what is happening. I always also buy more toilet paper than your standard 6 rows. I usually try to go for 24 rows because the deals are much better. The price overall is much better. It's a saving, and this way I know that for a particular period of time I don't have to worry about these little things, that they have to disturb my daily routine, and that they can really obstruct me or somebody in my household with something so ordinary. I also like to buy shampoos or soap, like bar of soap. And by the way, I'm going to give you that as a challenge as well. Would you be willing to make the challenge of using only bar of soap for, let's say, 1 month, and as well for 1 month to use only shampoos and douche gels, and to see exactly how do you feel and how much exactly it costs you. Because funny enough, all of the shampoos, all of the shower gels, they're much more expensive. And if you're in a part of saving money for some big goal, definitely every penny counts and every penny makes a difference. But the question is, are you going to be really happy to do that? Are you going to persuade yourself that actually a bar of soap is good enough and can do the same job as a bottle of shampoo or a bottle of douche gel? So let me know what you think about all of these little challenges. And as well, when you buy things for your freezer, do you buy them for a long period of time or do you buy them for a short period of time? When you do your cooking, do you cook only for one meal or do you cook for a few meals together? I personally like to cook at least for 3 meals ahead. Probably because we have few people in my household, so we really need to have food. But let's say I like to cook at least for 3 meals. And then the other challenge, but I'm going to give you all of this in details as well, with separate pictures and with separate videos. I'm giving you also the challenge of not buying any containers, any glass containers for your household to store your food in your fridge, but really going and reusing the glass jars which the food is coming in. Let's say if you buy some pickles, or if you buy some jam, or if you buy some honey, and you keep the glass jars, and actually after that the cooked food which you already prepared for your next meal, you actually save it, you store it in the jar container, and then you store it in your fridge. I find myself personally that jar containers could be a really good way of storing your food. And of course the clever ways, if you go to IKEA or somewhere else and you buy these little metal tubes which are really cut with the diameter of the glass jar, like the old days when our parents or our grandparents used to do the home jam prepared for the winter and things like that. So this kind of, there is a special metal form, I can show it to you in the next video. So you can use actually that form, and this way you can fill your jars with the food which you prepared already, and you put the food at the time when the food is actually still warm, and you take the metal lid for the jar and you put it straight into the jar at the time when the food is warm. So you fill the jar, let's say 1 centimeters below the very top corner of your glass jar, and then you put on the lid and you very tightly actually twist it and close it, and then you turn it over so the lid stays at the very bottom. It's upside down, your jar is upside down. So this way, if you preserve hot food, it can stay actually for a week or more, depending on the food. And of course, in my household, we always cook meat very well to make sure that there is no blood or really fresh juice from the meat, so it won't be poisonous. So when it's well cooked, then we preserve it like that. So it can stay actually for a week and a half, especially when it is in the really cold part of the fridge. It can keep there for you for a long time. And this actually saves you a lot of money and health, of course, because when you have proper food, you don't tend to go and to buy the little things and to have some crisps or anything else, or biscuit, or going and buying takeaway, which is much more expensive. No, don't get me wrong, we go and buy takeaway as well as everybody else, but we do that as a treat. We do that because we want it. We don't do it on a daily basis as basically a quick fix of our normal healthy meals. Yeah, so my advice is really have these jars, try it. Try it for a week, try it for a month. Tell me, what do you think? How do you feel? Tell me, is that making any real difference on your pocket and on your money? And is that really helping you to grow your money stack? So this way you can really go and you can buy the big things which you really want to buy. I hope you enjoy my video. Hope to see you in the next one. Watch and follow for more. I have my TikTok account and my YouTube account, and I have in the descriptions actually my stand store where I have few things for you. So if you like, there are things for you to check on the way. So there are much more tips actually which I know and I follow in my daily basis. So I hope that they will be really useful for you and that can be helpful to everyone. Enjoy your day. Bye.